Number 10, Sweden. Northern Europe's liberal bastion, Sweden is one of the most secure nations on the planet. In 2015, there were an insignificant 90 kills in a populace of about 10 million. In case you're suspecting that is still a great deal for a little number of natives, recollect that Sweden has the same number of individuals living in it as Michigan. In any given year, Detroit alone records way more than 90 murders. Sweden isn't absolutely wrongdoing free. In the vacationer months, pickpocketing rates take off. There's additionally the prickly matter of assault. Sweden has the most note for the assault rate in the entire of Europe, which unquestionably doesn't sound exceptionally sheltered. Until you understand the sheer contrasts between what constitutes assault in Sweden and what constitutes assault in the USA. Number 9, Austria. This small European country of brew and hot dogs was once home to one of history's incredible domains. The Habsburgs ruled tremendous swathes of the world from their base here, with different individuals responsible for wherever from present-day Germany, to Spain, Mexico, Peru, and Bosnia. In spite of the fact that the tradition given way taking after WWI, their supreme capital of Vienna is still one of the world's urban areas. As a reward, it's shockingly sheltered to visit, as well. From a populace just a million or so littler than Sweden, Austria tickers around perhaps 40 kills on a normal year. Its murder rate is the 6th most minimal in the whole 38-nation act. This isn't to imply that Austria is altogether issue-free, obviously. Taking after the 2015 vagrant emergency, the nation quickly turned into a well-known human trafficking course, coming full circle in the grievous demise of 70 transients in a truck surrendered on the nation's streets. The next year, in a maybe not random occasion, people in general came surprisingly close to choosing Europe's first transparently far-right head of state since we had. In spite of this, however, Austria remains a to a great extent well-disposed, wonderful place where you're probably not going to meet a sticky end. Also, it is very brave pleasant scenes for you to get plastered in. Number 8, Switzerland. The main thing you see about Switzerland, when you get over all the sensational common excellence, is that the nation is completely inundated with weapons. The Swiss love weapons like Texans love, well, firearms. The nation has one of the most astounding gun possession rates on the planet, just a couple puts behind the USA. In any case, while the US is notorious for shootings, wrongdoing in Switzerland is fantastically low. In 2014, there were just 41 kills in a populace of 8 million. Some portion of this might be to do with exactly how insane rich the country is. Switzerland has the 12th most noteworthy GDP per capita, and is one of just 2 nations in the main 14 with the populace more than 5 million. The towns decently stink of thriving. Disregard boulevards cleared with gold. In Switzerland, individuals' wallets are for all intents and purposes fixed with platinum. Number 7. Germany. Germany has the most noteworthy populace in the entire of the EU, with about 15 million, a greater number of nationals than both of its closest adversaries. On top of that, the nation as of late assimilated more than 1 million displaced people from Syria and different war zones. However, in spite of this, about each and every class of wrongdoing has been falling consistently since reunification in the 1990s. The only crime that skyrocketed in recent years is shoplifting. Number 6. Norway. The number of inhabitants in Norway is an amazingly small 5 million. Know what number of these 5 million cutting-edge Vikings were killed in 2015? 21. On the off chance that Norway was a US state, it would have the least murder rate, and the 3rd most minimal number of general murders in the entire of America. Just scantily populated Vermont and New Hampshire would have less stiffs stopping up police cruisers. About the main wrongdoing in Norway that is factually liable to have any effect on newcomers is robbery. Not that Norway is totally inconvenience-free. It's still less than a long time since far-right psychological militant Anders Breivik exploded an autobomb in Oslo, then went on a shooting frenzy, killing 77. While it's impossible there's another Breivik out there, individuals, particularly Oslo inhabitants, are still damaged by the episode. Number 5, Denmark. Denmark is safe to the point that even occupants of Norway most likely feel they can unwind there. The murder rate is the 5th least in the whole act. Road wrongdoing is practically incredible. Indeed, even the medication traffickers who dispatch heroin through the nation as often as possible shun brutality. Strikingly, in spite of this, Denmark is viewed similar to a prime focus for Al-Qaeda and ISIS, who have approached adherents to assault the country. In any case, no mass loss Islamist fear assault has yet occurred, prompting to worldwide acclaim for Denmark's inside administrations and hostile to fanaticism units. Number 4, Iceland. With a populace of just 323,000, Iceland is one of the remotest, minimum populated nations out there. However, while remoteness regularly breeds brutality, in Iceland the inverse has happened. There are no furnished police watching the lanes, yet viciousness, even in provincial backwaters, is basically incomprehensible. The banality of individuals is yet leaving their entryways open during the evening is valid. A year with more than one murder is a terrible year surely. Quite a bit of this is to do with how coordinated the populace is. Everybody basically knows everybody, which might be the reason the current demise struck home so hard. Iceland is protected not on account of its generally rich, but rather on the grounds that its tenants have made it so. Number 3, Japan. Well, look at that. A non-European country for once. An island nation of 127 million, Japan is notorious for its meme-ready weirdness, its ultra-strict work culture, and for being so safe even its Yakuza gangsters refuse to carry guns. The murder rate is the 3rd lowest in the act, with fewer than 1,000 homicides in 2015. In that same time period, the US, a country with a population less than 3 times the size of Japan's, recorded 15 times that many. It's fair to say Japan is a very safe country indeed. And it just keeps on getting safer. 2015 saw the lowest rate for every single type of crime since 1945. Tokyo is ranked as the safest city in the world. Osaka is ranked as the 3rd safest. Given that Greater Tokyo is the 2nd largest urban habitation on the planet, that's one heck of an accolade. Number 2, Luxembourg. Stuck between France, Germany and Belgium, super-rich Luxembourg is one of Europe's littlest countries. How little? So little it makes Holland look huge by examination. Rhode Island is greater. Be that as it may, Luxembourg has something the Netherlands and Rhode Island need. Actually no, not the European Court of Justice. Actually no, not the X in its name. No, Luxembourg has something significantly more wonderful. It has the least brutal wrongdoing rate and the 2nd most reduced murder rate in the entire of the OECD. Violent crime essentially doesn't exist here. There were a handful of armed robberies in 2015. Aside from that, nothing. Even with the population of only 543,202, that's still impressive. Kansas City has a population around 100,000 smaller, and saw over 125 murders in 2016. And number 1, Singapore. The most secure nation on earth. Modest Singapore is home to 5.3 million individuals packed into a zone right around 4 circumstances littler than Rhode Island. With such a crazy level of congestion, you may anticipate that things will rapidly winding into brutality and hatred. Not really. In 2011, an insignificant 16 people were killed. In 2015 and 2016, all types of rough wrongdoing and robberies hit either 10 or 20-year lows. The main violations that are as of now expanding are cybercrimes, which might be obnoxious, yet at any rate wouldn't end with you lying in your very own pool blood and regurgitation. Singapore totally does not have the catastrophic events endemic to Japan. It's perfect and decent, with even stuff like spitting gum being culpable with gigantic fines. Nonetheless, this security has come at something of a cost. In Singapore, the administration is in control, and you better trust they esteem well-being over flexibility.